Welcome to today's first masterclass. It's the first ever masterclass of Impact Pro, and it's always exciting, right? I mean, the very first day, I'm always thrilled and I'm very happy. This personally, Impact Pro and LifeCraft personally are my favorites of all the sessions that I've taken so far because I had been a person who's always enjoyed giving yarn. Now here, it's like what do you say? I need to just sit for 2 hours and I need to give yarn. I love it. I love it. Nothing like it. It's like the best. It's like the best thing ever. This is my leisure. This is my fun time, and I'm super thrilled. Welcome to today's first masterclass. And today we are going to be focusing on how to get started. How to get started on any personal growth journey. Now, here, if you are here, part of today's session, you are because you're sitting here because there is something that's perhaps missing in your life, something that you're trying to fix, right? Or maybe something that there is always a reason behind why you joined it. I would like you all to comment in your big reason why you came. What is it that you want to, what is that problem you're trying to solve? Like maybe, you're for some of you, maybe like I want to overcome procrastination. For some of you, it's like I want to launch my brand. I want to get, what do you say? I want to implement some of the ideas I learned. Or maybe for some of you, it's like I just love the and Sansari. I want to join whatever you teach. Maybe Nikita is like that. So, right? So whatever is your reason, I want you to comment in right now. What is your reason? Why are you here in the first place? Build consistency muscle. That's amazing, Subhasri, right? You want to build consistency muscle and get it big and strong. Nice. Lacking consistency. Neelam's lacking consistency. Nikita, I try to get a schedule. Kombucha, by the way, okay? Too distracted from goal, despite knowing how important it is to keep myself uplifted. Amazing. Loving it. Please comment in your reasons so far. I want to understand why you're here. Because if I understand why you're here, will I be able to really talk, pinpoint to that exact thing? And I can tell you, right? I'll be here as your friend, your mentor, your guide. And you can reach out to me for any doubts, any questions. Me, Sanchari, me, Surya, we are all here for you. You have so many other community members and you're in the best space to learn. But unless you come here with a clear intention on why you are here, why would you have any motivation to continue? Right? Also know what exercise to do. So many options, confusing. Oh, okay. Superb. Love it. Loving it. All right. So in today, we are going to understand, no matter what stage you are in your journey, we are going to understand how to actually get started, right? There are so many options. There are so many things that you want to do. Like if you are like me who have searched for how to find purpose in life and you searched on YouTube, then you would have seen a lot of videos, lot of things, different coaches, different gurus telling you, you need to do this, you need to do that. And, it's very confusing on the internet, right? You looked on the internet for trying to solve something free on YouTube. Content is there, but you're confused on what to watch. Yes, comment in why if this is your case. You have been looking up for solutions. You read many books and you're not sure on what exactly to do. Yes, Harvinder agrees. Right? What about others? Comment in why if you agree to this. Stay active in the chat box. I want you all to turn on your cameras. Stay active in the chat box and comment in so that I can clearly see and engage with all of you. All right. So here we are, and we have come here with with a lot of confusion. More than everything, we are living in a generation in times when it's not lack of information, but it is information. Too much information, that is really the problem. You don't know where to go, how to get started. It appears very confusing, right? And what do you do? Typically, if you were to get started, maybe you might read a book like How to Win Friends and Influence People, Think and Grow Rich, 7 Habits, 5 AM Club. You might perhaps have read a book like that. You might have tried to implement some of the things. Then maybe you're struggling, you like the lesson, but you're not able to do it. Then it's overall very overwhelming. Overwhelming is the word that you can use. And I have been like you. I have been like you. my whole quest for personal development started during my time as a teenager when I wanted to be a dancer. I was an extremely underconfident person and I had a lot of stage fright. I was constantly worrying about what other people thought of me. And if I wanted to be a dancer, how can I do it if I just can't go up there and perform? So I started watching videos on how to increase my confidence. And that actually led to a lot of things eventually, which gave me a lot of experiences. And now I am here to share. What you're listening here is perhaps, some of the biggest and most important aspects that I've learned in more than 9 years of personal growth journey. 9 years of personal growth journey, which means one third of my life, I perhaps been seeking, and I'm continuously seeking. I continue to seek, right? So you see, when you read these self-help books that I said, by the way, I want you to comment in what has been the most impactful book you've read so far in your life. I want you to comment in right now. Comment in as I say. So uh, as you try to read and see, like maybe The Secret, 5 a.m. Club, things like that, you start reading. Then many of them talk about big goals, right? Neelam says Power of Now. That's an absolutely beautiful book. One of my favorites, The Power of Now. So, it talks, all of them more or less talks about having a broad vision, right? A big, broad vision. Very broad, and it asks you to think big. There are things like the magic of thinking big and all these talking about broad visions. And what happens when you actually start thinking broad and start doing? You get overwhelmed. You don't know where to start, right? You don't know where to start. So, where you always need to start from is where you are at right now. Okay. I want you to understand this. Always start from where you are at right now and aim for a small win, a small upgrade, which can take you maybe a step further, then a step further. You see, if you are someone who's just starting out to launch a business and you read the life story of Elon Musk and you try to do the things that he's saying, what are you going to do? Or you read about what do you say? You are a starting writer and you talk about you see the life of Siddhamurti and you want to live like Siddhamurti. It doesn't work that way, right? I mean, you're not yet able to see yourself operating at that level. See, the biggest problem that we all face when we try to do something that a very big coach does, that a big entrepreneur does, is that through our experiences, we form certain identities about ourselves. For example, Purnima here has a sense of who I am based off all your experiences in the past. You have an identity of this is who I am. Now, when you think of this is who I am, and you think of someone who is doing a lot of things which you cannot even imagine right now, it just doesn't match. It just doesn't sync, right? It just doesn't sync. I mean, this is me, and how can I implement? How can I do? So, what you always need to do is you, as a person right now, what is it that you need to do right now? A win that you can follow right now, which you can start if you want to leave a lasting impact on the world, no matter what it is, whether it is to write a book, whether it is to, oh, whether it is to build an amazing community, and no matter what is it that you do, right? It feels like a very long distance, and you can't just see yourself operating at that level, right? So I want you to note this down. Small wins are always important, no matter whether you're doing on a day-to-day basis or whether you're thinking on a very broad basis. In fact, I will say broad thinking at right now, if you are someone who feels like you are underconfident with yourself, broad thinking can be counterproductive, in fact. Thinking broad can be counterproductive. I want you to think of winning the day. I want you to, in fact, think of how can I make my next week something that I love that and that I cherish. All right. So at the end of the session, we are going to be doing an exercise where I help you craft your ideal week. And you're going to find techniques, you're going to find methods which helps you, which helps you remain accountable to yourself and which helps you remain organized and disciplined. It's going to be absolutely life changing. So here, what you want to, however, avoid in this, whatever you are, whatever you wrote about everything that you wanted to achieve, is I want you to eliminate those negative messages that you tell to yourself. Okay. I want you to say this affirmation right now with me. I'm going to unmute you all so that you can say this. You can say this with me. Okay. I want you to unmute this so that you can say this with me. I love and embrace myself where I am
Love and embrace myself.
Embrace myself.
I love and embrace myself where I am right now.
I love and embrace myself where I am right now.
I do not judge myself.
I do
I
not
do
judge
not judge
myself.
myself.
I am never going to call myself lazy and useless.
I'm never
I'm never going to call myself lazy and
lazy
useless.
or useless.
I am capable,
I'm
I am
capable
capable of changing
of changing
the course of my life.
the
the
course
course
of
of
my
my
life.
life.
I hold within me
I
I
hold
hold
the infinite power
the
infinite
infinite power, Jesus,
of the universe.
of the
of the
universe.
universe.
How did that feel?
Great.
Felt good, right? It felt good, right? So always remember this. Your identity is crafted by the things you tell yourself. Right now, you just feel like a little 2 inches taller. You feel like, you just feel a little good, right? Maybe you just feel like, that little bit of that energy surge you feel. But this will very soon wear off. This is why motivation does not work, because you psych yourself up. You go to motivation guru, they're going to psych yourself up like this, and then you just lose it the next day. So what you want to create in your life is you want to create evidence for all these things that you say. And you want to remind yourself of that evidence. This is going to be one of the key activities that we're going to be doing, which is why I say every day I want you to share your wins in the group. Because from here on, you're no longer going to associate any negative words with yourself. I'm lazy. I can't get things done. I'm never able to plan. I'm never self-disciplined. I procrastinate too much. You're going to stop telling these stories to yourself and instead replace them with more empowering ones. Instead of saying, I procrastinate too much, say things like, I try and change my life one step at a time. You see, it immediately creates a new story around you. Okay, it immediately creates a new story around you. Every time you catch yourself thinking in terms of these negatives that I can't, I don't, any of those, I want you to catch yourself and immediately reframe it in your mind with something that is more empowering. Right? Okay. I want you to catch it and I want you to reframe it. No matter what happens, I want you to reframe it in your mind. Whatever is it that you are lacking, whatever is it that you want. So here, yes, absolutely, right? Absolutely. I'm going to create those evidences. So through the week, I'm going to give you tasks that is going to create this identity within you that you are a winner. You're going to create an identity by the end of this week that you're going to focus on. We are going to focus on primarily trying and shifting your identity from that of someone. Absolutely. I want you to try and shift this through saying these things, through repeating these affirmations, through sharing your wins in the group, through doing the tasks that I say, through showing up for the morning calls. You're going to create in yourself an identity of someone who is on a path of personal growth and not someone who is going down a negative spiral. All right. Yes. So I want you to take a moment and think about this, that what would your, uh, what would your, what are the actions that you can take right now, standing where you are, wherever you are, that can lead to a potentially better life? I want you to think about this, write it in your journal, and share it with me here. Yes, I will allow you to unmute, so you can unmute and you can tell it to me as well. You can all unmute and you can say, but I want you to write it in your journal. What are some of the things that you can do? You can say things like, I want to cut off toxic people. I want to read more often. I want to wake up in the morning, right? I want to practice more art. I want to spend more time with family. I want to work on a passion project. What are those things that you want to do? All of you, please, Shikha, Manish, Sujata, Subha, Divya, Gurpreet, please turn on your cameras. Please turn on your cameras. This is not optional. Okay. Yes. I mean, if you're unwell, of course, you can turn off. If you're unwell and you don't want, you're lying down, you can turn off. But apart from that, I know many of you are sitting and you're standing and you're taking super. Good to see you have such beautiful faces. Why are you hiding it? Right? What is it? Yes, I want to work on myself to be the best version of me. I would love to show up for exercise. You want to track your workouts, you want to start posting on LinkedIn, you want to get up early, right? You would like, so Disha says you want to do a 2-minute plank. So most of you, whatever you want to do, are going to be building along one or few habits that you want to focus on, building right now. Yes, am I correct? It could be something like, I want to wake up in the morning. See, when you say you want to exercise, maybe many of you might realize that if only you could wake up in the morning, you could have time for exercise, right? If your goal is you want to do more creative stuff, maybe you might realize that by giving myself more me time and taking some time away taking some time away from screen, I can spend it on my personal projects and hobbies. So you would all realize that there is this one or two habits that you want to build on, that you want to start focusing on right now, right? So in the course of this week, you're going to focus on these 5 habits. We are going to focus on number 1, waking up in the morning. Why waking up in the morning? Because waking up in the morning can boost so much of your confidence, and it can add so much to your time. If when you wake up in the morning, you get time rather than just rushing into the day, to actually spend some time, think through, and really plan and set intentions for the day. You get that space to start your day on a note where you are able to be at peace with yourself and do some self-care. Okay. Second important thing that we're going to focus on is exercise. Exercise, because exercise you do not for any physical transformation or anything. Exercise, the best part is what it does to your brain. When you exercise, you start releasing chemicals such as dopamine, endorphins. These are your natural antidepressants. So if you are, many of us say that, I lack motivation, hence I cannot exercise. But instead you need to exercise so you can feel motivation. That's always how it works. You're lacking focus, take a walk. You're feeling low, just go get some fresh air, get some sunlight, take a walk. Right? You are feeling, you feel sloppy and confident, hit the gym. This works, exercise works because you become a much more confident, focused, and energetic person through this habit. Now, many of us don't exercise for multiple reasons. Number one of them will be I don't have time. How many of you here feel like you don't get enough time to exercise? Comment in I in the chat box. I in the chat box. If you feel like you don't get enough time to exercise, or all of you are already on it consistent and you're already ready on it and you don't have to even worry about it at this stage. Not enough time motivated, what to do in the gym, when to start, I do something, FOMO, missing something else, right? Superb. I have time, but the weather doesn't motivate me. All right. So there are all these different things. Okay. So two reasons why we tell this, why we tell ourselves is one, I'm lacking motivation. Two, I'm lacking time. Three is I don't know what to do. These are the three most reasons why we do it. Now, many of us have certain beliefs around why we shouldn't do, why something is important, why it is not important. But I want you to fundamentally understand these things. By spending 20 minutes exercising in a day, you are adding an additional 2 hours to your life. How? Because through exercise, you are able to boost your focus, you are able to boost your energy, and you are able to work more faster and efficiently. So the same thing that would have taken you 4 hours, you're now doing in half the time.
Niranjan, interrupt. Hydrate, hydrate.
Yes. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yes, certainly. All of you, I want you all to hydrate. Okay. So I'll be talking more about the benefits and everything and why you need to be doing. We're going to enforce this in the coming times, exercise, yoga, whatever it is. Second important reason why, you don't do is you don't know what to do. Start from where you are, right? You don't have to go to the gym, do a hardcore workout. Just start walking. You all have legs, walk. Take a few push-ups if you can. It doesn't take, take a skipping rope and start skipping. It doesn't take a lot of effort. You just have to set an intention that I'm going to do. Okay. Then the third important habit, and which is perhaps the most important habit that we do, is actually doing the task that is given for the day. Every day there is a different task. By doing a task and by ticking it off that I did the task, you are creating win, you're stacking wins. Each day, as you look at how much you have done, you're going to see that you have done so much and you're going to feel so much more confident. I will be sharing with you a habit tracker and a sessions list for you to share. These two trackers you're going to have to print. You're going to have to keep it with you, and you're going to have to take a print and you're going to have to stick it on the wall where you can see. Every day you are going to strike it off the tasks that you do. And when you look at it, you feel like a winner. You feel more motivated to go. Striking off a to-do list can create, striking off a to-do list can create in you, a dopamine rush that is much greater than actually seeing a reel. So you're going to be addicted to that. Okay. Now the fourth important habit that we're going to be focusing on is organizing. We are going to learn how to time block a calendar. We are going to learn how to make your to-do list. We are going to learn how to prepare, reflect and create gratitude. Okay. We are going to be working on these habits. This is important because you need to always start your day. The reason why many of us are not able to have control over our time and over our days is because we lack the intention. See, when I know that at 6 a.m., this is what I want to do. At 8 a.m., this is what I want to do. At 10, 12, 3 p.m., this is how I want my nights to look like. When I have that intention set, I will be doing it. If not, I will switch to a default state. By default state, I mean something that is just the easiest. For most of us, it is just sitting back and scrolling phone or watching it or watching Netflix, right? That becomes our default state. When you don't set intentions, we switch back to a default. So we're going to be working on preparing a do-it list. This is something you're going to do live with me in the morning. If you, in case, miss the morning sessions, and I repeat this, the moment you watch, I want you to wake up and I want you to see the morning session. Okay. I want you to see the morning session, because this is going to be the biggest takeaway you're going to get from the classes is going to be the morning ritual. So we're going to be preparing our do it list, and we're going to see how we can get organized, how we can appreciate our wins, how we can feel that confidence and that josh in ourselves. And the fifth habit we're going to be focusing on. The fifth habit we're going to be focusing on. Don't worry, Harvinder, I will revisit these. I will revisit these. As you do these, you will get an understanding. Right now, you don't have to focus on taking notes. Just listen to what I'm saying. You are going to just listen and grasp what I'm saying. Understand the essence. Because see, I keep repeating on why it's important, because I don't want any one of you to skip and make your own decision saying, I'm not going to do this. Everything you're going to do, every session you're going to attend, nothing here is optional. I have optimized the classes to such a level that we do what is most essential. So nothing we do here is an extra. Everything is essential. And these are unavoidable. So you're not going to prescribe to yourself, I will do this, I will not do that. Okay. So, so now the fifth and the most important thing that we do in this is we learn how to unwind for the day. We learn how to unwind. Most of us, we go to a sleep in a state of exhaustion, not in a state of being energized. Most of us at night, what we do is we sit on our phone, we scroll, we keep scrolling endlessly, and then we search, and then we're replying, we're messaging, and when we do all this, and then you go into a state of overthinking. How many of you struggle to sleep at night? Say you struggle to sleep at night. Like you toss, turn around, maybe you take hours to sleep, right? You struggle with sleeping. Only Gurpreet. Sometimes Harvinder, Lakshmi, Priyanka says, you're all going to be unbiased if you listen, if you hear how much time I take to sleep. You count from 100 to 0, I would have been asleep by then. On most days. This is on most days. And this isn't some magic. This is a habit you can build. So you're going to learn how to do that as well. You're going to learn how to fall in sleep in less than 100 seconds. I think many of our lives are going to be amazing if we got a good night's sleep, right? If we got a good night's sleep and woke up fresh and motivated, maybe do. So we're going to learn how to unwind, how to give yourself what I call an evening ritual, so that you go to sleep energized and inspired for the next day and grateful for an amazing day you had, rather than going into a state of overthinking, reactiveness, and a state of overwhelm, right? So we're going to be focusing on all these 5 key habits. Now, you try to do all of this at once. Maybe sometimes it might collapse. Maybe it might collapse. I will answer your questions, Nikita. I'll answer your questions, okay? So maybe it is going to collapse if you start doing this all of it at once. Just as a building has a foundation onto which you start setting, or a statue has a pedestal onto which you start building, your habits are built on one keystone habit, the foundational habit. It is that one habit on top of which everything else builds. For us, it is waking up in the morning. Why waking up in the morning? Because when you wake up in the morning, you get extra time. You get that time to think, reflect, journal, make your do-it list. Because if you want to wake up in the morning, you have to sleep early. You figure out ways how you can get to sleep early. Because you know that if you don't get enough sleep, your day is ruined, finished. So you want to sleep early, you're going to cut off keeping the searching on the phones, and you're going to give yourself a good night's rest. Because you wake up in the morning, you get that time and space to finally start exercising. Right? Everything is built upon this one keystone foundational habit. Okay. Yes. Comment in S if you have understood this concept of keystone habit. Now to answer your question, Nikita, you can do a rule as best times. You can, if in fact, if I would recommend you do it 2 times in a day, right? 2 times in a day, 1 minute. Take 1 minute and write 5 things you're grateful for in the morning. 1 minute and write 5 things you're grateful for at night. That's enough. Yes. Okay. Keystone habit. Okay. Keystone habit. So all of you are ready to wake up in the morning. All right. So now I want you to reflect upon this question. What would your ideal week look like? Okay. What would your ideal week look like? I'm going to ask you some questions right now, some leading questions right now, and you're all going to answer it. You're all going to write it down in your notebook. Okay. Yes. Did you all get a new notebook? Superb. Amazing. Nice. So, brain, yes. Awesome. I'll answer all your one-to-one individual questions in the end. All right. So, any questions, all the amazing questions you have, please save it. I love answering doubts. We will do it in the end. So, the first question, number one. What would you, what time would you like to wake up every day? Because everything starts with waking up. If in your ideal week, okay, 5 a.m. Okay, I want you to write it in your journal and you can also share it in the chat box. For Nikita, 5 a.m. For most of it is 5 a.m., 5:30 a.m., 6 a.m., 4:30 for Dr. Somnath. Okay. 4:30, 6 a.m. All right, 5, 4:36, 4:30, 6 a.m. All right. This is the in your ideal week. If everything came right for you, this is the time you would like to wake up. Okay, if you woke up, you think that if you could wake up at this time, then your life is going to be set. Okay. 6 a.m., 5 a.m., 5:30. Okay. Okay. Question number 2. What if you had to wake up at this time? What time do you have to go to sleep? This is very important because the number one advice I would give for anyone who wants to wake up in the morning is sleep early. You can't cheat on sleep. You can't hack sleep. You have to give yourself time. If you want to wake up at 5, then you should be willing to go to bed at 10. If you're going to bed at 2 a.m., 12:30 a.m., and then you're saying you want to wake up at 5, it doesn't work that way. You have to first thing is decide that you're going to stop your work at a time. You're going to stop doing all other activities, and then you're going to finally going to bed. What time are you going to bed? 10, 10:30, 10:30 max, 10 p.m., right? How many hours to sleep? As much as you find it necessary. For me, I have found it is 7 hours. If I sleep for 7 hours, typically I'm good. 7.5, excellent. It works for me. Whereas I've seen some people who need 8 hours, some who also need 10 hours to function at their best. I've also seen people who work perfectly great with just 5 hours of sleep. Honestly, the best way to find this out will be to wake up at different timings and see that when do you feel the best. Okay. So for a lot of you, it is 10 p.m., 10:30 max. For some of you, it might be that 9 p.m., right? Did you answer question number 2? Yes. What time will you like to sleep? Okay. These are all very important questions because this is the basis on which you're going to rebuild our life. Okay. Third question. What are some habits I want to build? What are some habits I want to do consistently for a great week? So maybe it could be like I want to post more on LinkedIn. I want to, I want to exercise more often. For some of you, it'll be like I want to have more me time. I want to practice more hobby. For some of you, it'll be like I want to eat home cooked food. Some of it may be like you want to spend more time with kids. That those are all single habits. But I want you to write as much as you would like, honestly. There is no such rule. If you can only think of two things, write two. If you can think of five things, write five. Things that habits that you would like to build. It could be anything like, wanting to, the most popular ones are wake up in the morning, practice yoga, then it is practice a hobby, garden, start gardening, read more. These are all some of the most popular habits everyone wants to build. Read, journal, right? I want to journal more, right? I want to sketch. You want to do LinkedIn, you want to wake up early, you want to practice Sudarshan Kriya. Okay, you want to learn French. So these are all the things that you want to do. When all of you have decided on some of the, if, see, think about it this way. If you did these things, now when I think about your ideal week, I don't want to think about quitting your job and, just taking a whole vacation, living a life like a vagabond. That's a life all of us would love. But that's not what we are looking at. We're trying to see from where you are right now, what are some improvements you can make to your life? I want you to answer this. Some improvements, if you got to it well, you will be happy. For some of it, maybe like you have a, you want to spend more time playing with your dog. Write that. Things that make you feel wholesome, things that make you feel happy, things that gives you a sense of fulfillment that I'm living a good life. Providing art post. Yes, posting on Instagram, posting on social media. That's a habit that many of us want to build. Yes. Comment and done if all of you have written your important habits. My routine and my time for side hustle. Yes, that's for Nikita. Many of you I can see here are silent observers. I want you to comment in as well. Many of the silent observers, you're not chatting. I want you to do this. Practicing quality time with doctor. Yes, done, done. Okay. Now, I want you to answer this. And this is going to be slightly difficult question to answer. What is stopping you from doing these habits right now? These same habits that you mentioned that you want to build, what is stopping you from practicing them right now? Is it fear? Is it procrastination? Is it scrolling too much phone, too much Netflix time? Is it that, you're too busy, family, not able to manage work and life? Is it that your boss is not giving you, or is it that you are just generally easygoing and you don't want to do? What are you doing? See, 24 hours, we have 24 hours in a day, and you're really not doing nothing. I mean, there's never a time you're actually doing nothing. You're sleeping, you're sitting, you're just thinking, or you're meditating. I don't know, but whatever it is, there's never a time you're actually doing nothing. Something or the other. Some action is always going on. So, what are you doing instead already that is stopping you from doing this? So, instead of us saying, I am lazy, what do you do in those times? Few minutes, unpredictable time. Okay. You earlier answered the external situation that is stopping you. Now I want you to write, what are you doing in your free time, in your times that is really stopping you, that that you are doing instead of the things that you mentioned. Sit on couch, watch Netflix, scrolling on phone, social media, right? These are the things that is stopping us right now. Yes. If I could, you are like, if I could only eliminate this, maybe my life will be better. It could for some of you to be like spending too much time talking on phone. Spending so much time in the WhatsApp groups, chatting with people, chatting with all the friends, chatting on phone, gossiping in family groups. So maybe for some of you it is that. Yes. Okay. I feel exhausted. No energy. Okay. Now, Let's look at your life day wise. In your day, you can think of each hour as a block of time. Each hour as a block of time. So I want you to write this right now in your journal. Okay. Let's say you wake up at 5 a.m. or 6 a.m. You wake up in that time. Let's consider the time from 5 a.m. to 9 a.m. as early morning. Okay. 5 a.m. maybe 5 a.m. to 9 a.m. as early morning. It makes sense because for many of us at 9 is the time we typically start to commute for work, or around that time is when we commute for work if we go for work, or it kind of feels like a new phase of the day has started. 5 a.m. to 9, or 6 a.m. to 9, that time until that 9. I want you to write this in your journal, and you're thinking of this in terms of every day of the week. How would your ideal early mornings look like? So I want you to write in your journal that time, 6 to 9, and then write all the things that you would like to do in that morning. You can write things like exercise, journaling, reading. Maybe so for some of you, it is like working on a passion project. For some of you, maybe like making social media work. For some of you, maybe like meditating. For some of you, maybe like I want to, I want to go out, take a walk, do gardening. I want to do aerobics, yoga. I mean, I want you to write down how would your ideal early morning time look like. It does not have to be very detailed. Just on a surface level, you can write all the activities that you would like to do this time. Okay. If it is that, if you are a person who feels that if I could complete all my chores in the morning, then I'm free through the day, feel free to write that. Okay. But I want you to have this clarity on vision on how would you like in an ideal week, how would you like your early mornings to look like? 6 a.m. morning tea in peace, meditate, do Bible, reading prayer. Gurleen has shared her answer. Yes. What about others? How would your early mornings, how would you like your early mornings to unfold? I want you to write this out right now. Thanks. How many people are going to watch inside of? Yes. How would you like your early mornings to unfold? If you're still thinking upon this, I can give you time. But for most of us, it is doing things that makes you feel good, that gives you me time, right? It is exercise, journaling, reading, bathing, deep work, right? Content creation. You would like that early morning to be a super productive morning, right? Morning focus, meditate and pranayams. That's for Neelam. Home chores, you want to complete, you want to complete your, have some me time and complete home chores so you feel free in that time. So for Dr. Somnath, it is cycling, make the do it list, study for 1 hour, meditate. See, it doesn't matter if you're already doing it. If you're already doing it, great. I'm proud of you. I'm insanely proud of you. But you can think of something aspirational. It doesn't have to be the things that you're already doing. If your aspiration and what you are doing right now is same, great. But maybe you can think about how you can make it slightly better. At some level, we can always improve to an extent. Enjoy sunrise. Yes, getting sunlight is important, right? Getting some sunlight is super important because you learn to match your body with the circadian rhythm. So did you all answer the question? How would you like your early mornings to look like? Yes. Plan the day. Shall I move on to the next question? Yes. Next. Okay, give me a thumbs up. Turn on your camera, give me a thumbs up so I know that I can move on to the next question. Next. How would you like your morning hours to look like? So by morning hours, I'm saying from the morning, you can think in terms of your meal timings. From your breakfast until lunch, I can say, I can call it the morning time. How do you like your morning hours look like? You can think in terms of the time from 9, from 9 a.m. to 12:01, maybe from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. You can think in terms of these broad hours. Think of this as a large block of time. How would you like these hours of your day to look like? If you are in and working in an office, maybe your aim might be that you want to do the most important work done in this time. You want to complete the most difficult tasks that you tend to procrastinate. You don't want to, because in the afternoon you feel a little lazy, you start to crash, you want to spend more time by the water cooler and not so much time in your cabin. You have things like that. Or maybe if you're a homemaker, in the afternoon you feel tired, you feel like you want to take a nap, and you kind of just feel, most of us feel a crash in the afternoon. So ideally you might want to think of your morning time to be the most productive and completing the most important tasks. I personally think of try and complete all my work by lunchtime, all my important work, so that my afternoon I get time for a relaxing nap, then I get time for exercise, I get time, then I'm after that I'm coming fresh and prepared for a session. Most of my nights I have a session. So, that's how I like to think of process my day. While in the morning, I do all the difficult and, all the, let's say, all the boring tasks. Okay. So I want you to think of how your early mornings will look like. How your morning hours would like to look like until lunchtime. I want you to comment it. If you're a freelancer, then what are the things that you would like to do at that time? Would you like to focus on your learning, or would you like to focus on working? Would you like to focus on creating? If you're a content creator, would you like to rather do your research? Would you like to rather create that time? If you are in office, then what are the things that you would like? I want you to have this vision on how would your mornings be. Okay. Yes. Focus and complete personal growth, important things, right? Most important things. If Even if you are in an office, maybe you don't have a lot of control over what comes your way, but yet you might always, it's a good thing to think that I want to complete the most boring and difficult tasks in the morning. Give tuitions rest for 1 hour. If you can think in details like how Harvinder is thinking, great. You can do that. But I want you to write in your journal with clarity, how would you like your mornings to unfold? Okay. Lunch. So now this is what I want you to answer. Okay. So Nikita, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. work, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. work, right? That's your working hours. So now you can even think of, your afternoon hours. How do you like your afternoon and until evening? Let's set the time until evening. Let's set the time until evening 4, 5 p.m. as the next time block. How would you like your afternoons to look like? Now, for some of you, it might be like, I'm logged in from my office, I'm completing work. For some of you who are freelancers, maybe you might want to say, like, I can schedule meetings for the afternoon because I want to work, or for some of you who are not going to office or not really doing any freelance work, maybe you might be like, I want to catch a nap in the afternoon. Then I want to spend my afternoon in a more relaxed manner, maybe just reading, learning. I want to, since I've completed my work in the morning, it is, or how would you like your afternoon, that time to look like? Okay. And then I want you to reflect upon how would your evenings be. So you can think of the evenings from any time until 4, 5 p.m. until 7, that time when you have your evening chai versus the dinner, between the dinner. How would you like that time to go? Now, if you're a person who commutes regularly for work, maybe you can think like, I'm commuting a lot. I'm spending a lot of time in the metro. Can I listen to an audiobook? Can I do something like that? Can I read? How can I make most of my time that I spend commuting? If you're someone who stays at home, then how would you like that evening until dinner to look like? Don't just, the whole key is you want to get out of this rut of, get out of this rut of waking up in the morning, going to work, coming back tired, watching Netflix, going to sleep late, and repeating the whole day. I want you to be doing this primarily because I want you to think a little and see how you can squeeze in things that you like and make these times more important. See, maybe if you spend all the time in the evening with kids, is it possible that you can instead go for an evening class and then spend time with kids maybe after dinner? Is that possible? See, here I want you to think of what would you like to do so that you can prioritize yourself and you can do things that makes you happy. Okay. So how would your evenings look like? Would you catch a sunset? Would you spend time on doing hobbies? Would you, or some of you, it might be like my morning is too busy. Maybe I want to exercise in the evening. I want to go for an evening walk. How would your evenings look like? I'm talking about the time until dinner. Are you going to, right? Okay. Done. Give me a thumbs up. Read, garden time, tea time. Maybe some of you like a slow evening. Maybe some of you like a fast morning, slow evening, if you're like me. Or maybe some of you are like, I'm more focused in the evening. So I'm going to work harder in the evening. So I want you to think of how would your evenings be. Again, I want you to think outside of this whole cycle of what you have already been doing and think of what more can you do? How can you actually make things that are ideal? Okay. That would give you more inspiration for the day. Yes. Maybe for some of you, maybe like I want to catch up with friends in the evening. I want to talk on phone. So give me a thumbs up if you have if you have thought about your evening time. And see, now when you say, I don't want to do the same thing every day, sure, that's great. But then of your evenings, I want you to think of a certain category of things that you would like to do. No matter whatever you're doing, see, if you would like to go, if you would like to go for a evening walk, watch the sunset, spend time reading or gardening, maybe you like to do different things every evening. But all of them come under the activity of unwinding, right? Maybe this is a time you are maybe you're sleeping too much in the afternoon, or maybe you're spending time on the phone. Can you take some half an hour off the phone and can you instead spend time on activities that makes you happy? This is how I want you to think. If you're commuting, how can you make the commute better, more interesting? Audio, listening to audiobooks while commuting is a great idea. Or maybe some of you might be like, all the social media time that I wanted to, I'll already finish it in this sitting here itself. Then so that I will not check my phone after I go back. Maybe you're setting a rule like that. So I want you to get a little creative and think of how can I make my most of my evenings. Because now you're setting up for the most important part of the day, your night. So this is your time, perhaps from 7:30, 8 p.m. until 10, 11 when you're going to bed. Right? How would you like your nights to be? Here, night is a time when a lot of us, even if we are working, we get a time by ourselves. Night is interesting because we get this free time with ourselves. What are you doing in that free time? Are you, is maybe, is your idea of leisure getting tired and binge watching a series? Can you take some time off it and can you read a book instead? Can you work on a passion project in that time? Can you maybe, maybe your family expects you to do housework at that time? Is it possible that you can set a boundary such that you maybe finish your work early and you take this time for yourself? Maybe for some of you, maybe like you need to consider getting a maid. If you find yourself earning, busy, working in office, and then you come back and you have to do housework as well, maybe it is time you need to get your maid. I will tell you, getting a maid for us has been the most important, the most crucial step. The most rewarding thing that we have done because we get so much time for ourselves. See, it's okay. In fact, if I were to do the dishes by myself, if I were to, wash the clothes by myself, it would have maybe cost me only an extra hour or hour and a half. But that hour and a half is something that I'm using to maybe prepare a better class for you. That hour and a half is valuable time. It's like could otherwise use for my personal growth. Hour and a half is something that I can use to get better sleep. There are a lot of things I can do in that hour and a half. So I am not worried about spending 4,000 or 5,000 rupees trying to save that amount while I value my time so much. I value 40 hours of a month, which is equivalent to 4 working days, rather than, the the salary I'm paying to a maid. Many of us don't respect our time, right? Many of us don't respect our time. And we think that it's okay, I will do all the work myself. Many of us don't delegate enough. We don't ask for others to help us in our responsibilities. Like I've spoken to a student of ours, Maitri, she's an architect. She works busy in the day and at night she starts cleaning up for others' room, folds the clothes and keeps for the kids. And those kids are my age. I asked her to teach them how to do it themselves so that you don't have to break your head over it every day. If they don't do it, it's their loss. And it does not make you a bad person. Remember, delegating tasks, sharing responsibilities is not going to make you a weaker person or a bad person. It shows that you have the strength to trust and you have the resource to delegate. It also shows that you are prioritizing your growth over staying over the current circumstances. So maybe for some of you, it might be that you might look for ways to delegate. If it is hiring a maid or if it is asking for sharing responsibilities at home, you don't have to be the one doing all the office work, then coming back, then doing all the housework. Always we can split up responsibilities. Yes. I want you to write this in your journal 5 times. My time is money. Time is money. Maybe some of you, if you are taking too much time to come by, one mode of transport, maybe some of you might need to pay a little extra and find a faster means to come. I'm just giving hypothesis here. I don't know exactly your situation, what makes you so busy, but you need to perhaps, if the solution to your problem of time is spending some money, I want you to take that step. And then I want you to use this time and earn 10 times that amount you're spending. Yes. I realize my 40 hours has so much value, I can't even put over it. And I'm not saying this from that I'm this big guy kind of deal. I just respect my time. And I would rather do it the things that I'm good at rather than doing the things that I hate. So I want you to write this now. Time is money. Time is money. Write this 5 times. Time is money. Time is money. Time is money. Every situation where you can save time, you're going to use that. You're going to save time. If by paying 150 rupees for a cab, you can come half an hour earlier, then you took a bus and took 1.5 hours, I want you to get the cab. If your home is extremely noisy, you don't get any time, and you're always very busy, then maybe you need to go to nearest coffee shop and sit. Sure, a coffee there costs 100 and maybe I don't know, 180 rupees, but it's worth it because you're getting those time for yourself, which you can actually do what you want. And that is much, much more valuable. Your time is money. Your time is money. Give your time more value than 100 rupees at least. Yes. Okay. All right. So now how would you like your nights to look like? Is your idea just unwinding, watching a show? Can you do something else instead? Can you read? Can you meditate? Can you maybe do a gratitude journal? Can you do something creative? What would you like your nights to look like? Or can you split? Can you focus on your passion project? Can can you work on a course, a book that you're launching? Can you spend that time to do things that inspire you creatively? Or maybe you're doing your time for your passion project in the morning, but how would you like this time? Yes, reading for many of you, it is reading, right? It is reading, it is spending time with family, spending quality time, maybe having nice dinner conversations, right? Done? Yes, give me a thumbs up if you have written this. Yes, light a candle, meditate, sketch, journal. That's amazing. Practice music, right? Or listen to music, reading, so you know it. Okay. So now let me show you how you can stop writing. Let me show you how I plan, sorry. Let me show you how I plan my day, how I plan my week. So this is my week. This was my previous week. So many of the tasks I had deleted. I know exactly how I want each hour of my day to go. I am yet to add the things that I want to do in the morning. You see this free time here, this is when I have to do most of the administrative works or most of the things that are needed because you see, if I have to, there is a lot that goes behind the scenes apart from the classes, right? You all would have figured that out by now. There is a lot that goes behind the scenes apart from these classes. So this is a time that this is a time that I can use for all of that. But for most of the time, my days are fixed. Like my early morning, my wake up at 5:30, then I take my morning class from 6 to 6:30, then 6:30 to 8:30 is when I work on a passion project, right? Because I figured that for a very long time, my days would always go into just taking care of immediate things, and I never spend time for my growth. And that was affecting me a lot psychologically. Even though at one point, even though I was teaching art at some point, I was not giving any time practicing art myself. Then even as I started, as figured that I needed to change this. So now I spend my mornings where I'm learning, where I'm working on a passion project, where I'm doing things to generally work on my life and my business, mostly on myself, rather than doing things that are urgent, right? So now I know these mornings are for that, and those are sacrosanct, and I don't sacrifice it for anything. Because I know I want to do this in the morning, I also don't tend to stay up late at night, because if I stay up late at night, I'm having to say no to this, right? This is very important because every time you say yes to something, you're also saying no to something else. If I say yes to getting drunk tonight, I am saying no to having a day of being clear headed tonight, tomorrow. I have to walk around with a hangover and a body pain. I don't want that. If I am saying yes to, what do you say? If I am saying yes to spending time with people that I hate just because I was invited and my family says I am supposed to do it, I would end up hating everyone there even more for their entire time. And which means I'm saying no to myself. I'm saying no to my heart. I'm saying no to the things, all the things that I could have done otherwise. So always when you say yes, you're saying no to something else. I want you to remember this every time you make a decision. What are you saying no to when you say yes to something? Okay. So now I have my mornings, and then my early mornings are set into setting the agenda for the week. I mean, giving feedback. Morning is the time I check the work of students, the feedback, and then I also delegate the tasks to Surya, because this is super important. Because let me just think of this in terms of a day. Yeah, this is very important because if I know that if I spend 45 minutes to half an hour delegating the tasks in the morning, then I can save 4 to 5 hours of my day, because a lot of the things which I earlier used to do is now being taken care of by Surya. So I'm doing all the things I can do to delegate. Now yours might be different, but my thinking is what can I do that is the highest priority in the mornings? That is what matters. What is of the highest priority in the mornings? Okay. Then so I always think of that, so that see I always think of what can I do in the morning, so that even if the rest of the day gets out of hand, I still go back feeling satisfied. I know that if I spend time on a passion project in the morning, that is going to happen. For some of you it might be exercise, right? I know that if I give time giving feedback, then I don't feel guilty opening the group anytime. I know that if I give you feedback in the morning, then I am making the day of 30 more people productive. So you can immediately act on the things. I know that if I delegate the tasks, even if it is not very easy, I'm still saving a lot of my time. Then this is the time I can do for taking care of all the things that are necessary. Then there comes a lunch break. I take a long lunch break, a 1.5 hour lunch break, where I sit, I eat, and and I'm resting. This is the time we watch a movie. Me and Sansari watch a movie in series of half an hour. We watch a movie like a series, because I don't want to spend. I want to watch a lot of movies, but I also don't like staying every night 2 hours watching a series or a movie. So what do? While I'm eating for half an hour, I watch. Most series episode is for 1 hour, so I'm okay with seeing the series episode in 2 splits. If it's a movie, most movies have a song after every half an hour, so I watch from one song to another song. I remember when I was watching Varna Mayram with Sansari, I saw from one song to another song. So, and many of us think that we don't get the continuity. Honestly, that is not the case, because I would value the time that I get otherwise at night rather than the continuity, so-called continuity of watching a series, binge watching it at night. But I also want to see things. I don't want to live under a rock. So this is a solution that I have found, where I watch when I am eating. Now a question is, should you eat mindfully? Sure, it's a trade-off. It's what you choose to do. There are no shoulds in life. It's about what you want to do, right? Maybe some of you might fear that eating mindfully in silence is what I value the most. For maybe for some of you, it is eating, having dinner meals with the family, having quality conversation what matters. For me and Sansari, we enjoy watching things, and then this is the time we eat and we watch. One rule I've kept is I chew my food 25 times with every bite. 25 times. If it is non-veg, it even goes up to 35 times. Then I know that I'm not swallowing up food. I get the benefits of eating mindfully. So that's something that I like to do in the morning. Then I take a nap. Then, I take a nap because I realized that I typically tend to fall asleep, crash in the afternoon. So if I take a nap, I feel fresh and energetic. And for many of you, this might be the solution to a lot of your problems, the afternoon crash. One of the best solutions I can offer for advice I can offer for you is if have a coffee have a coffee right after lunch, then go to nap for 20 minutes. You don't need a lot. It's called a power nap. Go to nap for 20 minutes or 18 minutes. Even 12 minutes will do for some people. My naps earlier, earlier what happened is I used to always feel sleepy and groggy in the afternoon. Through my school life, through my college life, I would always feel sleepy. How many of you you feel sleepy in the afternoon? After your lunch, you feel sleepy, you're not able to concentrate. You take a lot of time doing everything, right? You do all these things, right? Likewise. So then, and then sometimes I would just fall off asleep without even me having control, and I would wake up 2 hours later and feel guilty. So I thought that sleeping in the afternoon was bad. And in our culture of being a Malayali Brahmin, we were taught things like Uchayorakkam Shariyalla. That means sleeping in the noon is not good. No matter what the reason, these things are taught. So I would carry this guilt. Then I figured this out. I watched this. I read this. I saw this from a YouTube video and I started implementing it. From day one, I felt energetic. You don't need much. 12-minute nap. 12-minute. And 12-minute, you might feel like, what sleep am I getting? Actually, I'll tell you what you need to do. Nikita, you said you wished you could. You can get 12 minutes if you want, actually. 12 minutes if you want, you can actually get. 18 minutes, great. 12 minutes. Yeah, no problem. See, the thing is, others, what you can actually do is you can listen to on your headphones, you can play a meditation by Headspace or Calm that talks about de-stressing. Lean back on your chair with your closed eyes and then just lie back. Others might laugh at you, they might judge you or something. That's their problem. But you can judge them back when you wake up fresh and you're able to do much more work than they do. And they will start asking you a secret. 12 minutes. Everyone can manage a 12-minute nap. You might feel like, see, the thing is, you're not really sleeping. What you're actually doing is you're allowing your body, you're allowing your mind to fully rest at that time. You're giving your body a complete rest, which is why meditation works. You're not using this time to scroll. We always have spent this 20 minutes. If we can get 20 minutes, nothing like it. And 20 minutes also, I think for most of you, it is doable. Most of you, it is doable. Many of the top offices, Facebook, Google, they allow Mind Valley, they all allow for their employees to take a nap because they know that this boosts their productivity. Many international companies are already doing it. Soon it is going to come in the Indian companies as well. But regardless of whether your office has a dedicated space or not, you can, all of you, every office has a room where people just generally go, away, and you generally are away from office. It's a place you go to chill. Most places have that. Here you can sit on a leaning chair, you can lean back, listen to a meditation, and instead of scrolling or chit-chatting, gossiping, use this time to take a nap. Yes. Where people do namas. Yes, exactly. Namas. Right? If you wanted to do namas, you would somehow find a place and a way to do it. That's exactly how this works. It's a ritual that you're setting. So you don't scroll, but you instead listen and you just allow your body and mind to completely remain and stay still. You can also set a timer and then 18-minute timer. I would recommend 18 minutes, but if 18 minutes is too much, 12 minutes or 7 minutes. But I want you to make this a practice. Then you wake up, you feel fresh. With the timer you set, with the timer you wake up, feel fresh. And it will feel like a long time actually when you do it. Those 80 minutes will feel like a long time. If you're sitting just, just closing eyes and letting your body relax, it'll feel like a very long time. Once you wake up, you're fully fresh. Then you're back again. It feels like you started another day. Then you can just wash your face and then you can continue your work as usual. If yours is work from home, great, then you can practice this also. Okay. So it's something you can try. I found this to be magical and it's become a cornerstone. So I get, 2 days in one day as a result of this. It's equivalent to me. I get a feeling I'm having 2 days in a single day. So moving forward, then my afternoons, your afternoons might be different. But then I prefer to have my afternoons in a slower pace because I start the day and I go at such an aggressive pace through the day. I like to take my afternoon slower, and then my evenings are spent time exercising. I come back, and then I prefer to have an early dinner. Me and Sansiri also do some breath work in the evening, and by 6:30 p.m. I finish my dinner. Like the time after I wake up from my nap, from around 3:30 to 6:30 is the time I exercise. I do breath work. If possible, I I practice some drawing, or maybe I'm just catching up on the messages, giving replies, giving some feedback or things of that sort, maybe checking social media. And I'm giving myself time to unwind. See, social media is important. I built a business with social media, and you all will have to use social media at some point. Yes, very good question, Neelamji. This is the time you're doing to find, to ask your monkey mind to rest. You're asking your monkey mind to stay shut. Okay. All right. Superb. So now here, you, I generally prefer my afternoons and evenings to go that way. Yours might be different, of course. And remember, social media is important because many of you want to build your brand, create impact, and the journey after this is where we're going to help you create your offering, build your brand. Then we have another level where we work, help you literally earn money using your offering. We have all those. But this is a very important tool you have to use. But the thing is, you use it and it doesn't use you. That distinction has to be very, very clear. You are using social media and you are not being used by it. Right? So I set aside time. I have time for all of that. And then by 6:30, I come back and now I'm ready to hold the session. Either I have a session at night, 7 p.m. or now I'm fully fresh. I have a session at night at 7 p.m. or I use that time to maybe, learn, maybe do some additional work. Or if me and Sanchari are in the mind, we take a complete time off. Maybe we go out, whatever we want to do at that time, we do. It's either we both enjoy working and learning, so we do that. Or we can, do anything else that we like. If the most of the evenings we have a session, so we do that as well. All right. So now our nights go that way. You can think of how you want your nights to be, but this is a general day in my life. And I have set it in a way that I get time for all the things that I want to do. I'm happy. And generally one day of the week I take complete off. Like for example, right now it's a Sunday. I'm taking a complete day off where tomorrow morning I'll be going to Kochi. I'll be meeting a mentor. We are going for a morning yoga. Then at night we are going to go for a movie Inside Out 2. How many of you are booked are watching Inside Out 2? Yes. No, we don't have sessions every weekday. We don't have sessions at all. In fact, only on Wednesday we have the sessions. And apart from that, on week 2 and week 3, we will be having sessions on Thursdays. I will tell you because I'm going to teach you some additional tools. Thursday, week 2 and week 3, Thursdays, we'll have some sessions. Okay. All right. So now you could have a different schedule for a weekday, different schedule for a weekend. But generally, now I want you to start thinking about How can you make your next week something that you would love? All of you ready? Now, let's all visually block out your ideal week, just like how I did, using all those nice colors like I showed you. All right. This is called time blocking. This is the revolutionary method. And I have personally found so much difference with this whole approach of time blocking because I very clearly know the what time I have and what commitments I can take and what I cannot. I'm able to say no very easily. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to open. You can do this from your phone or you can do this from your computer. I want you to, if on your computer, I want you to open calendar.google. If on your phone, then I want you to open this app called Google Calendar. Okay. Yes. So I'll show you how where to go. All of you, please drink water. We are now going to do the most. We are going to do a key. We are going to do a key activity right now. So I want you all to feel fresh. So here, just basically search for calendar.google. Okay. If you're using an iPhone, you can also use an Apple calendar. You can think of these, any calendar. You can also do this from your phone. Once you have found your calendar, I want you to, once you have found your phone, let me just delete these. So when I want to teach, I I have another Google account where I teach because I don't want to delete what I have set for myself. So all of you comment in S if you have done this, if you have already done your, if you have done your, if you have opened calendar. Yes, I don't want anyone to be left behind. You're all going to do this with me. Okay, so if you want to log off, then Neelamji, please do this task, okay? You can watch the recording, you can do this task. These master classes are going to be typically, today's master class, I'm forced to keep it short because we are doing it in the evening. Otherwise, the morning master classes, you can expect it to anywhere go around from 2 to 2.5 hours. 10:30 to 1 p.m. is most of the time you can expect your Saturday classes to be. But how many of you feel that everything that I shared here was important? And I could not have omitted everything. Yes, I explained with my calendar as well, so that you understand how this is practically benefiting, a person. And this is not something, this is something that works for me and why you need to do it as well. Yes. So I want you to open your calendar. And now here, let's start with your morning time itself. Okay. Let's start with your morning time itself. 1 minute. So now here's what I want you to do. I want you to pick the time, which ideally you said is your wake up time. Okay. So let's think about starting this from the Monday. Okay. Let's think about starting from tomorrow itself. From tomorrow itself, you're going to start implementing this. Okay. You are going to practice waking up in the morning tomorrow itself. Now, I want you to first, in this Sunday 9, I want you to click on that time where for you it is most important. Like here. See, you will immediately see this window pop up. Go to tasks. Okay, you will see two options, events and tasks. I'll explain to you the difference between events and tasks in just a while. But event, task, I want you to go to task and set this as wake up time. If it is 5:30, if it is 6 a.m., if it is 5 a.m., 4:30 a.m., wake up time. Okay. Then you will see this option called does not repeat. See, do you see this option does not repeat? I want you to tap on this does not repeat and then set it to every day or every weekday. How, depending on how you want to go. Maybe you want to set this routine for every weekday. Okay. Maybe you want to set this routine for every weekday. I want you to do this. See, I want you to understand that some of you might feel like at this point might start to feel like, oh, this is getting very constraining. Will I be limited? Will I get to be creative? These are all the excuses we make for not really scheduling our time. But I want you to understand that doing this is actually going to free up your time and you actually get time to be creative. When you realize that what you are setting aside time for what is most important for you, you are no longer thinking about it. You free up a lot of headspace, which you can now use to pursue your creative and growth activities. So doing this is actually going to make you more spontaneous and creative, especially for the artists here. I am an artist, and earlier I used to resist this at any cost. But now I truly understand the life-changing benefits of time blocking and scheduling. So I want you to, so you are actually going to free up your time and space. Okay. So now here you set from does not repeat to daily or weekday, depending upon how you want to go. Okay. Wake up time, the time is set and click on save. And let it go. Wake up today. Yeah, wake up time. I got it. You would have seen something like this pop up. Give me S in the chat box if you have got this. Yes. So now what we did is I have scheduled my wake up time. Okay. I have scheduled my wake up time. Now I'm immediately going to be notified on the phone. You can set an alarm and everything to wake up. But now seeing from a visual perspective, you know clearly this is your wake up time. All right. So what we did now was we set a task and we set it to repeat. Basically, when you are adding something, I'm showing you an example here. If I am setting something like morning routine, okay, I can either create an event or a task. A task is something that is like a small, one-time thing. Like uh, for example, for example, house chores is an event. On the other hand, cooking, cleaning, dishes, these are all tasks. Work is an event. On the other hand, report submission, research, answering mails, meetings, these are all tasks. Are you all understanding the difference between a task versus an event? Right? Going out to the bank is an event, but all the things you want to do, getting the documents, making the check, getting the approvals and all the things, those are all the tasks that you're doing. Did you all understand the difference between a task versus an event? So waking up in the morning is not an event. It's not like you're going to, wake up. It's like you woke up, right? So we set it as a task. Now, here we are going to time block the most important things right now. So we are going to schedule an event and we're going to schedule a task. So right now, I have created, we do once again, I have created an event. Okay. I have created an event and I can set it as a one-time event. Like for example, I have a family get together Thursday evening. Okay. At 12 p.m. For example. from 12 to 2 p.m. is a family get together. For example, okay, I can write family get together. Now this is a event. And what is this? This is an event that does not repeat. I mean, I won't have a family get together every day. It's a one-time thing and it's done. Or birthday party. Then you save it. Now you know that next time you look at the calendar, you can just see that, okay, this is my time for family get together. So you can plan your day, you can plan your things accordingly. But on the other hand, certain things are repeating regularly. Okay, certain things are repeating regularly. For example, the morning classes, that is repeating every morning, every weekday morning, right? It's an event, half an hour, that is going to repeat itself every morning. Yes, it's going to repeat every morning. So now what can I do? You can set here, okay, go here, click on the Monday, 6 to 7 a.m. that block there, and then write morning routine. Okay, 6 a.m. to 7 a.m., 6:30, I can just write as morning session because it's the morning session time. Okay, 6 a.m. to 6:30 a.m. morning session. Now what does it? This repeats every weekday. Are you getting with me? Are you with me here? Are you all able to understand how to use this tool? Yes, you're all able to follow along. You can do this on your phone or on your computer. Okay, 6 to 6:30 a.m. you set for morning session. Now it is repeating every weekday. I can also change the color. Maybe I don't like the color blue. I can change it to maybe, a different color. For example, light because green symbolizes growth. Or maybe violet because it's for my spiritual upliftment. I mean, go with the color that you like, guys. Yellow, what's your color that you want to associate your morning with? Red, I'm energetic in the morning. Whatever you want. Okay. I have my own color code which works for me, but I want you to get creative and add your colors. But basically, you're going to give one color to one category of things. Like all your learning times are going to be one category, your exercise timings are going to be one category, your me time is going to be one category. So in one look, you can see visually what are each of these time gaps for. So once you're done your morning session 6 to 6:30 a.m., give me S plus R. Show me a thumbs up. You're able to get this. Yes, all of you are smart. You're able to do this. Okay. Now, here again, like I said, I'm going to time block. What is the most important things? Like the things that we are going to do here. Okay. So now you have your morning thing. Now the third thing is, we spoke about exercise. What is your exercise time? Is it early morning? Is it afternoon? Is it evening? Is it night? What is your exercise time? I want you to time block that right now. And here you can think of the time that all the time included, for let's say you're going to a cult fit and there is a half an hour traveling time, you can add that. Or maybe, there is some time that you're giving for unwinding after this. See, many of us, I want you to be very realistic as you. When you say you exercise for 1 hour, is 1 hour the time you actually spend exercising, actually spend in the gym, or is it including a lot of things? When I am working out, I train for 45 minutes. 45 minutes is the time that I take for my actual training. But I also take 10 minutes to go to the gym, 10 minutes to come back. Then before exercising, I always take 10 minutes because I want to go to the changing room. I want to put on my shoes, do a little chit chat, wash my face, and then come. So overall, I have seen that my gym time is around 1 hour, 20 minutes. Sometimes if when we are returning, we might have to pick up a little grocery or some things along the way. It goes up to 1.5 hours also. Now, if I look at it a little further, it's not like I'm just going right away. Before going, I will be, I will be going to the washroom. Then I'll be mixing my protein shake. Right? And after exercising, I also like to stretch for 10 minutes. So now adding it overall, it has become 2 hours. See, that is why my exercise time is from 4 to 6 p.m. This is not essentially all the time you spend there. So as you do this, I want you to take into account, maybe when you are saying you want to exercise for 2 hours, I want you to think of the other added time as well. The cost of traveling, the cost of moving around, the cost of resting, relaxing. Some of us like to scroll after exercising. We feel that we like that boost of dopamine. Then maybe you can schedule a scrolling time after exercising. Great. If it makes you happy, please do it. Okay. Be conscious about it. Please do it. But then I want you to add that into account as well. Be realistic about the times you set. Okay. Don't be optimistic. Don't be pessimistic. Be realistic. Take into account all of these. So now I want you to schedule your exercise time. On the other hand, if you're someone who just lays out a yoga mat, does in your living room, yoga, then it might only actually take you half an hour. But maybe after that you like to have a coffee, you like a morning coffee, you like to get some sunlight, you can add that also into this. Like think of this activity, how much time is it actually costing you, and add that. Okay. And I want you to add that realistically. So I will again go with what I generally do. Yours might again be different, but I want you to be realistic and just do that. So for me, here I'm going to go in this cell here, or let me show you another method of adding. Instead of going to the cell, I can simply click on the plus button, create an event, and then set the time. For example, create an event. Here I can simply set my time as from Monday four p.m. to 6 p.m. And this is exercise time. See, you have noticed how I did that? I clicked on the plus button, set the date, set the time. I can either just directly click on a cell and I can do it, select it, or I can simply go to the plus icon, create an event and do it. Try this method. And I'm going to set this to, I just like this color. You can do this. Now, how often do you want to set this? Do you want to do it every day? Or do you want to, set a custom time? Maybe yours is for half an hour every day, half an hour, 3 days a week. So I like to do 3 days in the gym, 3 days swimming. I mean, you might find your rhythm, what works for you, but you can just add this and you can set, if you want, you can set it as daily, or you can set it as every weekday, or there is also another option called custom. Here you can actually pick the days you want to do. See that? Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Maybe you want to exercise 3 days a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Okay. Custom. Done. Now you click save. There you go. So I want you to time block your exercise time and comment it in the chat box. Yes, E. Okay. And all of you have to schedule some time. Even if it is 15 minutes, I want you to schedule it. Whatever time is realistically what you want to do, what makes sense to you, and what makes you happy. Okay. Yes. So mine depends on slot availability. So now here's what I want you to do, Nikita. If you're leaving something to availability, then remember that chances are you might not be very consistent at it. What is priority, you set as a priority. Which probably nothing is going to come in the way. What is optional, you set for availability. If exercising is a priority, you time block it. If you feel it is just option, for me it is optional, I don't mind, whenever I get, I will do, then you can let it be. Okay. No, I meant we book for classes on that. Oh, like that. Okay, like that. Okay, on the cult app you do it. All right. So you can probably, okay, if that is the case, every day on a day-to-day basis, you can set a time when you're actually going to schedule the on the app, and then as and when the exercise comes, you can time block it. But you might find a pattern and you can keep that time free. Like obviously, there are certain bounds. Obviously, you will not book a 10 a.m. slot because you have work. So you can find that thing. Okay. Yes, done. Give me a double thumbs up if this is done. Now, here, all of you have to, all of you will have to find a time where you are actually sleeping. You have to ensure that you're sleeping on time, right? If you want to wake up in the morning, you want to sleep on time. So you can schedule any time from half an hour to 1 hour before your sleep as an evening unwind. Maybe you want to sleep at 10. You can think of 9 to 10 as an evening unwind. This is a time you're probably doing your skincare, you're doing your spending reading, friends, you're spending time with, what you say, doing artwork. Maybe you are talking to your daughter, right? Like Dr. Somnath said, you want to do that. Like whatever is it that you want to do in this time. Maybe you realize that, spending watching series is a great bonding activity with my husband, and I don't want to miss it. Then you can probably maybe think of lowering that time. Okay, lowering that time, and then just half an hour maybe you are setting as a no screen free time. One of the tasks that you have to do is setting up a screen free time half an hour before sleep. Screen free time half an hour before sleep. So for a lot of us, if we can just avoid looking at the phone at night, we are all going to get a good night's sleep. So this is a time you can read, this is a time you can do skincare, you can meditate, you can do a lot of things in this time. Maybe clean, but I want you to schedule half an hour to 1 hour as a screen-free me time, okay? Which is your evening unwind. So I'm just going to set right now 9:30 to, I can schedule here 10 p.m. Again, this is just my hypothesis. I want you to set what works for you. Unwind, okay? Evening unwind. And you make sure that this is your screen-free time. You can even write it as screen-free time. You can in fact write it this way, screen-free time. This is your screen-free time. Okay, 9:30 to 10, 9 to 10. Maybe some of you have the luxury of not checking the screens from 8 p.m. Whatever works for you, I want you to do this. This is your week. You're setting it. Okay. If maybe for you, this is playtime with kids or playtime with pet. You can do that. I mean, what works for you, please do. Okay. And this again, I'm going to make it like, repeat every day. I'm just going to set the weekdays as my standard. Maybe on weekdays, I just like to have a change. I like to have my weekend parties. You don't have to sacrifice any fun, honestly. You're doing all of this so that you can live a life that you have. Okay. You are doing this so that you free up time to have more fun. That's what you do. You give it a nice color that you want, lavender because it's relaxing. Maybe for you it is 9 to 10, whatever it is. Just you set that, then you click on save. So now you have your evening unwind as well. Playtime, whatever. Okay. Yes. Give me a double thumbs up if you did this. Yes. Now, what is the most important of everything that you are not yet time blocked? What is most important? The most important thing that we are not yet time blocked, it is the master classes. You don't have to time block sleep. The empty time is your sleep time. Okay, you don't have to time block sleep. Leave some free space, leave some breathing space. Right? The Saturday master classes. So what do? You go to the Saturday and 10 a.m. Saturday 10 to 12, or maybe 10:30. Maybe you want to be ready at 10:15 to let's say the class gets over by 12:45. Or maybe it is from 10:30 to 1 p.m. whatever. I think like ideally you can set as I want you all to be ready by 10:15 p.m. and you can expect the session to go until 12:45 to 1 p.m. Okay. So this is my Impact Soul Grow Masterclass, correct? Soul Grow Masterclass. Most important thing, you're going to show up on these sessions. You're going to show up on these sessions. So you set this and you can give it a color of your choice. Yellow maybe it makes me energetic, whatever. You can give it a color. And here in the repeating, it repeats weekly on a Saturday, correct? Repeating weekly on a Saturday. See, it's not a daily thing. It's not a week. It's not a every weekday. It is repeating weekly. You will see this repeating weekly. It's not repeating annually or monthly. Some of you here are going to be like, I'll just show up for one class. Then it becomes a monthly event. But here, ideally, you want to show up every week. And then you click on save. So just go to the right and you're going to see that your Saturdays are going to be time blocked this way. Now, once the session ends, you can delete it, of course. And how to delete it? It's actually very simple. You can simply, maybe after the 6th, 13th, you're going to probably just go here and then you're going to click on the bin and you can just delete this and following events. Now, if you want to edit the timing of any of this, let's say, I'll show you another tool. If I want to edit this, I can simply click on this, click on the pencil icon, edit event, and then I can change the time from 4 a.m. Maybe I want to 4 p.m. I want to maybe set it to 9 a.m. Maybe, I'm just showing 9. And then you can just click on the start. Okay. So you can edit that way as well. All right. When you edit this, you will see the option for editing just this event, or you can simply edit all those events. Like you go here, you can simply edit event. And then you will see this option that you can, just when you say this time, this and following events, then you're going to edit all the events following it. Again, don't worry yourself about any of the advanced functionalities. Just I want you to be able to time block these things. Okay. Yes. Now all of you turn on your cameras. How many of you are doing this activity? How many of you are using Google Calendar for the first time? Say I. Using Google Calendar for the first time. You feel tech savvy. Yes, Carol is using it for the first time. You realize the power of this. Only Carol. I'm surprised. I'm genuinely surprised. All of you are already doing these. And why are you here? Yes, Dr. Sonat Saha for the first time. In the old school times, okay, Disha, Sujata, Purnima, Nikita, Shreya, all of you have already been doing this. So, first time I learned in live class, right?
But ended a previous session on Google Calendar. I've been
Right.
using it since
It
then.
is a question. Whether you learned it or not, are you actually implementing it is another question. Let me rephrase my question. How many of you are already, how many of you are not implementing this regularly and are going to from here say I? Maybe you might have done 1 or 2 times. Sometimes scheduling office work. Are you going to regularly implement it? Say I. Okay, yes, usually not for personal goals, exactly. So here's where you're going to make a difference. Now you're going to time block every activity that you do. Okay, so shall I introduce you to the first task? Shall I introduce you to the first task? Yes, you're excited for the first task? Yes, comment in X if you're excited for the first task to do, your very first task, your first homework. Because you see, this is going to be all about homeworks, okay? Yes. So your first task, ladies and gentlemen, it is to time block your first task is to time block every single event activity that you're going to be doing. Your office work, your leisure time, your me time. You have scheduling separate time for watching movies. You can do that. You can schedule a scrolling time. You can get creative. You can add as many. You can schedule your hobby, me time, schedule your weekends. How would you like? Maybe, you want to go for regular nature walks in the weekends. Maybe you realize you want to learn guitar and you want to take the guitar class on Sundays. I want you to schedule that. But I want you to share your complete time block calendar. Yes, just schedule your complete time block calendar. This is the task you're going to do on Sunday tomorrow. Tomorrow, you're going to sit through what we learned. You're going to sit through with your journal. You're going to spend 2 hours and you're going to actually schedule every single your ideal week. Think just for 1 week. Next 1 week, how can you make it perfect? Next 1 week, think of getting a next 1 week right. Apart from the things that we mentioned here, now I hope you all learned how to use the calendar tool. I want you to schedule every single activity that you're doing. Now, how do we share your calendar? Very good question. Yes. Now personal also, not just for work. Okay. Everything. You're going to schedule everything. You take a screenshot. And where to share? Remember the community, right? Remember I had shown you to use the community tool. So you're going to be sharing it on the community tool. Let me just open the community and show you where to do it. So you go to your group description, then you log into the community with that button. You can try this out right now. Enter your registered phone number. It's an OTP. I'm just going to wait for my OTP to come. Yeah. And then from here, you go to community and then you go to community. There you go. That's it. For many of you, this might be the only thing. Maybe if this is your first purchase, then this might be the only thing you see. Now here, you're going to see this button called submit your tasks here. See this? Click here and you can see that you can simply create a post. See, new post or create a post. Like right now, as a user here, I can see Nitin is on. I want you, all of you to log in right now. See, just explore this right now. All of you, I want you to log in. I can see here how many of you are in. So you don't lie to me. So now here, you simply click on create a post and then you can simply attach an image with the title, my time block schedule. And I want you to, you can write your name, my time block schedule, Harvinder. Okay. And I want you to schedule your ideal week, or you can write things like my ideal week. You can add, you can add anything that you want, and then you can simply attach an image, a screenshot. Okay, and simply post. So here I can see all of your work and I'll be giving you feedback by commenting on it. Apart from that, you all know where to ask your questions. You can ask your questions in this chat, right? There is a, you can add your questions here. You can, all of these are there. The recording of the session, if you want to watch, it's going to be here. The recording is going to be shared here. Like for example, already the orientation recording is here. So the next recording is going to be here. You can find the recordings here. And then the tasks are going to be here. Like I'm going to be pinning the tasks on this daily learnings and task. So I don't want any one of you to share here. This is the place for submitting your task. Okay, it's very clearly mentioned. Submitting your task. And here's where you write your daily wins. So maybe the last thing you want to do before your screen free time is entering the community and sharing your wins. Maybe that's the last thing that you want to be doing before night. Okay. So you can do this and you can add this. All of you clear on where and how to submit your task? Yes. So this is what you do for Saturday. Let me take you through all the tasks for the week. All of you, all the tasks that we're going to be doing through the week. Your task for today is to share your insights and action steps from today, because today was an action-packed class. We learned a lot today. We did a lot today. We explored a lot of concepts and we had a lot of bulb-on moments. I want you to, number one, share your insights from today's class. That is your first action step. Okay. I'm going to be, you can share the place for, there is a place for sharing your insights from the class. And I will show you, I will tell you exactly where you want to post, like here. So Surya, can you do one thing? So can you here go to daily learnings and tasks? Can you just upload a photo? Can you upload a photo here saying masterclass 1, and there under that everyone can comment it, the task, my learnings from today. Okay, so just put a post here and under that you're all going to comment. That's it. Your task for today is just you're sharing your lessons from today. Like we did after orientation, you're simply going to comment in here. From tomorrow, you're going to submit your task here, your time block and everything you're going to submit here so that we can monitor your work. Right? So that is your first task. Then for Sunday, your task is to share your time block calendar. Monday, you're going to prepare your to-do list, your gratitude list. This is something we're going to be doing in the morning together. Now, in case you miss it, you can watch the recording and you can do this, but you do this. Your task for the next day, the day following that, is share a photo of you exercising. It can be a little photo of you exercising, a video of you doing a workout, or it can be of, any exercise equipment, the space, maybe screenshot of your workout, anything. You can do any of that. The task for day 5 is going to be to read 10 pages from a self-help book. So you can actually start looking and thinking and picking the book that you want to read. And reading 10 pages is a habit we are going to track every day, right? Many of our life, if we get so much better, we could read consistently. So reading, if you want, you can aim for 20 pages if you're already doing it. But I want you to start with 10 pages, okay? Then your task for day 6 is going to be to practice no screen time. So how do you show no screen? The next day, you just simply, in the morning, you just enter, I did my no screen free time yesterday, and instead, you can write what you did in that time instead. All right. So don't worry, we'll take each task day by day by day. We'll take on each task day by day. Right now, the only thing that you have to focus on is number one, share your insights from today. And what do you say, right after the class, you will be asked to share your insights in the space. On your Sunday, I want you to complete the calendar and submit your task. That is for Sunday. All right. And Also, I want you to take a couple of printouts. Okay. In order to ensure that you are having a fun and jolly journey, I have created a couple of trackers for you. Now, these are all printables which I want you to be able to a minute. Yeah. Yes. So the very first printout, you're going to be taking this. You're going to take a printout of all the days here. Okay. 21 days in practical, it will be more than around 24 to 25 days. So hence 25 here. You're going to take a printout of this, and each day you're going to stick it in your place, your space where you're going to take the session, where you work, where you can see it every day. And as each day goes, you're going to strike it off. Okay. You're going to strike it off each day. Then another thing that you're going to do is, can you see this habit tracker sheet? You're going to take a printout of this habit tracker. This is right now only for this month, but you can take multiple copies for different months if you want. And each of these habits, as you set your calendar, you are going to now try and practice these. See, maybe on day 4, I ask you to submit a task of read 10 pages, but that does not mean you have to wait until then. You can in fact start reading from tomorrow, and you can start tracking it on the habit tracker. So you're going to take a printout of this. You're going to stick this also in your study. And each day, at the end of each day, you're going to strike off what you did. If you attended a morning session, strike it off. If you did your task of the day, strike it off. If you did exercise, strike it off. If you read, strike it off. If you did your evening routine, by evening routine, I meant you're substituting screen time with me time. Then screen time with me time, you strike that off. So you're going to take these two printouts and you're going to keep this as well. Yes, you're all clear? So let me summarize once again what you need to do now to start this journey. First, take these two images will be shared in the WhatsApp group and it will be put here as well in the community, so you can find it. You're all going to take printout of it. Okay. You're all going to take printout of it and you're all going to stick it on your place you're going to see. Then you're going to create your time block schedule on Sunday. All right. And every morning, just focus on showing up. The rest will be taken care of. How many of you feel confident that you are going to do it all? Yes. Feel confident that you are going to do it all. You know, we try to gamify this and we try to see that how can we make this journey more fun. So as you take these printouts, as you stick and as you strike it off, every day, you feel a dopamine rush. Remember in the beginning, I told you that striking off from a to-do list gives you a dopamine rush. And you're going to be addicted to the process of showing up. On the days, because you don't take any of these tasks lightly, you're supposed to take a printout of everything. Like I said, everything shared here is mandatory. Nothing is optional. So as you take these printouts, take those printouts. Don't just think that, I will just wing it. Take those printouts, put it in a place you can see it, and actually strike it off. Okay. So I want you all to share photos after you take your printouts. I want you to share your photos in your WhatsApp group after you take it. Okay. I want you to share photos in your WhatsApp group after you take it. All right. Printouts done, printouts done. I want you to take this. All right. Amazing. So that's about it for today. To summarize what we learned, we first spoke about the power of small wins, why setting big grand goals mostly does not work when you're starting out. Then we learned about setting your 5 key habits. Then we learned about your keystone habit. We figured how to we created a time blocked week, first on a journal. Then we time blocked the most important tasks on your calendar. We also reviewed my calendar and a lot of lessons that we can learn and that you can pick up from the strategies you can implement along that as well. It's a lot that we learned today. I want you to share all the things. Surya, did you upload the image? Yes, yes. So in the community page, done. Super. So in the community page, you go here in the community page and insights, masterclass day 1. Yes, super. Great photo. So here you comment your insights, your learnings from today. So I want you to do this now. And I will now unmute. And I will now unmute and you can all ask your questions. This is your time to ask your questions. You can share your insights. You want to talk, you want to say anything. This is your time. Super. All of you can unmute and you can do this. Or you can write your insights. But before leaving, all of you have to write your insights before I'll be checking, okay? Disha, Neelam, Shreya, Nitin, Carol, all of you have to share your insights. But you can also ask your questions. Yes, Nikita, Neelam, you all had questions. You can ask Disha.
Niranjan, I will have a
Niranjan.
printer at home.
Yeah, let's go one
Can
at a
I
time.
create the habit tracker? Like Sanchari has taught us before. Can I create the same habit tracker on my journal?
Hmm? Can you create your habit tracker?
Before.
Yeah, can you create your habit tracker on your journal? Sure. You can. I asked you to take a print because it gives you a template. But if you want to create the same template on a journal, by all means, go ahead. Okay.
Thank you.
Now I'm giving you a template to go by this template because earlier I gave everyone the option to create whatever they want. More than 50% of people ended up not creating anything at all. So now here I'm like, you take this, you do this. Okay. And also a printout because you don't have to, worry about uh, creating it or anything. You just print it and you just use it. But whatever you do, ideally, place it like, if you're writing on a journal, tag a page and stick it on your wall. I want you to see it every day. Okay, on your journal, it's locked, it's closed. Same thing for the schedule as well. Make a 30-day tracker or a 25-day tracker and place that as well. So every day right now you have finished day 1. Strike that off. Okay, you feel good. You genuinely feel good seeing it. Yes, Nikita, please, next question.
Hi, Niranjan.
Hey,
Great session as always.
thank you so much.
But still, there were so many learnings which I can take. So my one thing which I have noticed is, I think I've already spoken about it, is the energy management part. So even though I feel I have time, let's say I come back from office, I have that 1 hour, 2 hour time, but I feel so exhausted. So maybe one thing which you mentioned is the post-lunch
Post-lunch nap.
nap
Another
might
thing you
be
can do is you
helpful.
can take a shower right before,
Okay.
right after you come to work. Immediately get a cold shower. You feel very fresh.
Okay.
Another thing that you can do is, I want you to avoid having coffee after in the afternoons or in the evenings. Have a coffee in the morning if you want, but having coffee in the evenings will prevent you from falling asleep at night. And then typically the half-life uh, so every drug, and coffee is a drug, it's called caffeine. Every drug has something called half-life. Half-life is the time that its essence peaks in your body, after which it takes a dip. Yes, Dr. Somnath Saha agrees. So for coffee, the half-life is 5 hours, which is why having coffee in the evening can be disastrous, because if you're having coffee at 6 p.m., then at 11 p.m. it is still peaking. And then you are able to fall asleep only by 2. Okay. So you want to avoid having caffeine in the evening. You can take
So
a
best
shower.
have it at 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock.
Yes, I mean, ideally, I don't generally prefer to have coffee because I want to sleep early. I don't prefer to have coffee after 2. After 2, 3 p.m., I don't have a coffee.
Mhm.
But I do consume a lot of caffeine. I do
Mm.
consume, I love my coffee and I prefer to have it in the mornings, like in the morning time. Anyway, so next thing that you can do to immediately boost your energy right after you come from work, apart from taking a shower, is maybe you can, plan an outdoor activity right after that. Maybe, your exercise times that you do, because that will immediately go into, you don't want to do something that is sedentary because that is going to make you feel sleepy. You want to do
Yes.
something active, so it is going to energize you.
Yes.
Okay. That
Like
is
a
something
walk
that,
or
yeah,
something.
right, like a walk or something that is going to energize you that you can do. That is another thing you can do in this time. And then maybe, yeah, I mean these things ideally should work. Okay.
Sure, sure. Because this has
Try
been
the
my
shower. That really works like a charm. That works like a charm. A cold shower right after you come, right after you return from work.
sure, sure. Because the challenge from February's has been this. It's not like I don't have time, but I
But
don't have that
you don't feel the
energy to
energy.
do something. Yes.
You don't feel the energy. Another thing also that I have found out is right after you come and you get changed and you get ready, you can look into your journal and you can look at the things that you had said you would do. You just come to the workspace where you want to do your creative work, and you look at your journal and you start seeing what you did do. That is going to inspire you to take action. Come sit in your workspace. Okay.
Okay. Thanks. I'll try this.
Super. You can, yeah, there are a lot of things. There are many, many things we can do here, but ideally these things should work. Yes, next question.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Can I
yes.
talk to you? Niranjan, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you very well.
Okay.
How you been?
Excellent, excellent. It has been a long association with you all. And
Absolutely.
I
Dr. Somnath Saha needs no introduction to many of us. He's been part of my classes even before I started teaching life coaching, habit building. He was there before we started Zen Gym. He was there when I think just before me and Sunset even married, right? You were there for our weekend workshops
Yes.
and you've been part of our earlier R21 day transfers. It's been a very, very long association, and I'm super, super happy to have you here.
Yeah,
Please.
it's so nice. Actually, I wanted to be in one of your master classes. So
Right.
that's why I got a chance this time. I thought anyway, whatever may be the situation, I will join and spend time with you all.
Thank you so much. And I hope it's been worthwhile.
I just wanted to tell you that Saturdays are my working days.
Right.
So I may have to while in my work, I will try to join in between. I'll put on my.
I see. Why don't you actually schedule a time to watch the recording? I think that'll be better because see, you might realize that even in these classes, I'll be asking you to do the things.
Right.
And another thing is a lot of information will be coming your way, so you will kind of half be there.
Right, right.
So schedule a time to watch the recording, Saturday evening or Sunday
But
mornings.
other days, this timetable is fixed, isn't it? Morning 6:30 and
6
evening
to 6:30. Maximum 6 to 6:40 because if I have to explain the task for the day, I might take longer.
Right.
But yes, morning 6 to around 30 to 40 minutes, you can say.
This evening 7 p.m. is every day?
No, there is nothing in the evenings.
Okay.
As in only on Wednesday, 7 p.m. That I almost forgot to time block. I will be sharing schedule with you. Wednesday, 7 p.m. We'll be having a doubt clearance this week.
Okay.
Purely, I want you to try out these and you come with your questions which I answer. From week 2 and week 3, We are yet just preparing the schedule, but most often on Thursdays we'll be having. So maximum Wednesday, Thursday, 7 p.m. is when we'll be having the classes.
That's fine.
Okay.
Okay. So that will be nice, and we will be in touch. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. It's wonderful. And do share your work in the groups, the artworks you did. Please share it in the groups. We want all of them to see it. Okay.
October once I enjoyed a lot.
Yeah. The new October is coming, right?
I'll share them. Yes.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Next question. Any questions? Carol, Sujata, Harvinder, Tanya, Tisha, Nitin, Shreya. All
Niranjan,
set?
take your leave. I think I can take
What?
I can take your leave now.
Yeah. We have finished the session. Share your insights from today before
I'll do
leaving.
that. I'll do that.
Please do that, and that's it.
Yeah, it's my
Yeah,
pet's
the schedule. Sorry?
it's my pet's routine time. I have to be with
Yeah. Go for it.
him.
Go
Okay.
for it. Yes, Tanya, certainly. Schedule will be shared to you personally. Okay. Schedule will be shared to you personally. If you have any questions, you can ask now, or you can, just share your insights and from today and we can leave. If there are no questions, then I will just, you can write your insights and I'll just review the file. All right. So for everyone who's watching the recordings, do the tasks as well. And already I can see that only 50% of everyone who's registered actually showed up for the session. For the rest of you who had not come, you're not exempted. You don't want to waste your time. You don't want to waste your money, and you don't want to waste this opportunity. So use it, do the tasks and come back.